welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here and watching today's video. If you've already guessed from the title, this is going to be a come and shoot with me, behind the scenes, how I photograph, how I get the shot and that kind of thing. Oh, by a very busy road, so excuse the cars driving past, but I'm with Chloe this morning. And we're shooting, so I thought I would take you along and basically show you kind of how I do the movement of a shot, how we change, how we find locations, like kind of what we see. So starting with where we are currently, we are by this little doorway, and the thing that I liked most about this was the little like greenery, because I'm wearing a little green top and my black dad jeans, so I thought this area would be nice. Chloe's actually shot here before, so areas where there's like a doorway, there's a lot of white and there's also some cream is kind of the areas we like to shoot in front of, don't we?
Yes,
that's kind of
yeah, that's what we're going for, isn't it, recently?
Yeah, we're going for lots of creams, and I feel like they make autumnal colours like coats and greens and stuff stand out, so that's kind of where we're at with like autumnal locations. And if you're stuck for places to shoot, Pinterest is always great at kind of finding corners and kind of getting the angle, don't you think? Like seeing how people shoot street style as well, but we kind of always make sure we're on an angle on a corner to kind of get the shot with doorways and a bit of something going on. Or if we're doing like a statement shot, we'll go like straight on, which I've got a similar kind of shot in front of just a black wall that I'll leave here, which is just front on shot to show you.
Another thing as well that I don't know if you do it anymore, but I always prefer shooting in the shade. I hate taking pictures in the sun, whereas Inja, she looks great in the sunshine, but I just can't do it.
Yeah, I think it depends massively for me. Like yesterday I was shooting all day in the sun with like nice lighting, and then when you come to edit, it can make the blues on an image really challenging to edit, whereas like here it's nice lighting because it's a nice day, but you've got the sun on this side of the street. So I mean, we tend to, when I'm with you, I tend to shoot the same, like shadowed, although down there on that corner is going to be probably a sunny shot that I choose to do.
As you can see, today is a really sunny day.
Yeah,
I'm the best. Choosing to shoot in the shade just because it suits my content better.
Yeah, if you shoot blah 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 blah. If it suits your edit better, then you'll kind of be able to gauge after a few times shooting for the first time how your edit works with sunlight imagery and shade imagery. And Chloe's works best with shade. Mine is okay with both, but probably better with shade. I mean, the best day is overcast days that aren't rainy, aren't windy, it's a dream. And today is hot and sunny, which is still obviously amazing, but just means we have to kind of work with the streets that we're shooting on and work out lighting and that kind of thing. But anyway, gonna shoot this outfit now, and I'll film a little time lapse of us shooting the looks. Just had a moment with some people in the street shouting smile at us, so if that happens, just blank them out. Don't respond, blank them out, and tunnel vision is my tip, isn't it?
What I do is I stare them out.
Yeah, you do stare them out for me. I think the person shooting, as long as you're shooting with someone that you feel comfortable with, then that's the best thing, because that person can usually back you up if you're the one shooting. I think you feel more vulnerable when you're the one in front of the camera.
Did you see Sophie Milner? She whenever she's taken pictures, and then sometimes she's had people take pictures of her. Yeah. So then she starts videoing them or taking pictures of them, and then they get really funny, like, why are you recording me? And she's like, well, you're doing it to me.
Yeah, why are you recording? And usually most of the time people are just interested in what you're doing and usually think that there's something maybe going on. I don't know.
I forget, right, that most people don't really know they're like kind of Instagramming or like influencers is still a thing. Like there's some people that still don't really understand, so I think they are just like curious and being nosy. Yeah,
and also it does look like we're just tourists in Brighton taking pictures in front of a black door, and a lot of people do say to us, do you want a picture together, which is really nice, and we're like, oh no, like thanks though. But that's the kind of thing you get, and I think when you're shooting, just make sure you're like tunnel visioning it, not looking at anyone else, focusing on the person you're with, and shoot with someone you feel comfortable with to start, so you can get practice in and then you start feeling better about it. So guys, it's changing time, part of the shoot. So we're currently just in the street. We're actually not hiding in a very good spot right now. Usually we do it behind a car, but we have something called the changing skirt. So we bring oh my god. We bring out a long skirt with us. I usually use Chloe's, but Chloe's now persuaded me to bring my own one out. So I've got my own, and you can basically use this as a t-shirt changing. So you bring it up to like past your neck, so you're under a little like smock thing, or round your waist and then obviously take your jeans off and change your jeans. So that's what I'm gonna do. Enjoy the show. Enjoy it. And again, with this changing situ, you just blank out people.
So I didn't realise you were still filming. I'm just talking about my feet.
Oh, I'll edit that bit out. Don't you worry. So yeah, I got it up past my neck. So you look like this, so you're not flashing anyone. And then I put the next top on. Because this outfit is shorts from jeans, usually it's nice to do like skirts to like dresses to jeans because then it's easy. But because of autumn and winter, we're not really wearing as many dresses. So that is the situation.
I don't know whether to wait for these people.
And now there's people coming.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Amazing.
Smooth criminal. Smooth criminal. We're ready. Jeans off. Oh god, there's so many people. Jeans off, skirt on.
I was like, oh, that's a cute little skirt that she's shooting.
Yeah, this is the outfit. And then the shorts are going on. I also, a top tip, oh, it's gone so dark again. Another top tip is bring extra socks with you because sometimes your socks get dirty. Oh, I didn't do this very well.
No, I think there's a person coming as well.
Love that from us. And we've made it. So the outfit is on. I'm just putting on my boots.
I want my belt.
Oh no, do you want my belt? And this is what the situation is looking like. We're just trying to be as quick and speedy as we can, but I'm in this cute cord from Zara, this little like fake leather shorts and fake leather jacket, which I do actually have in brown and I am obsessed with. So I'm wearing that, and Chloe's also just put on a fake leather outfit, so we're kind of twinning. We kind of look like we're Buffy the Vampire Slayer inspired.
I kind of like that though.
I love that too. What a woman she was. Most of my wardrobe, well, when it comes to winter this year, I'm actually inspired by her quite a lot. So if you see any kind of fake leather stuff going on, that's because of her.
Mate, have you seen the film Blade?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so.
It's about slaying vampires, but the guy in it, he's the coolest guy ever, like the coolest character. And he has this leather long trench coat, and he's what inspired.
Like your one?
Yeah, he's what inspired me.
Yeah, there's a photo coming soon that I basically borrowed all Chloe's outfit. And I haven't uploaded it yet, but I'll leave it here, and that was in a fake leather trench coat. And that, I was looking back at the photos and I was going to caption it like Buffy inspired, because it just is. It's just, what a time. What a time. So yeah, we're moving on to this outfit now. Location wise, again, we've come to like a cream street in Brighton. This is like Palmyra Square area, Brunswick area. Really nice kind of big buildings and pillars, very clean. It's kind of like the South Kensington of Brighton, I would say. Like, it's a really nice area to shoot in if you like very kind of clean and nice bright areas. The light here is always gorgeous as well, because you've either got the sun kind of shining on this side of the street over here and then it reflects really nicely off the pavement, or you've got nice, like basically either or, you've got the sun on one side at a time, so it kind of gives you like the option we were saying earlier to either shoot in the shade or shoot in the sunshine, which we love. So we're shooting in the shade currently because the light is great over here, and that is the plan on outfit number 4.
Oh, we've done pretty well.
We are doing very well.
Oh my god, what the fuck did I just do?
That's the surfing, like gnarly dude. Yeah, that means, isn't that, I mean, someone write in the comments, you're probably going to be like, what are you doing? But when I do surfing, I thought that meant you're having a good time. Like, dude. Cornwall. Anyway, I'll leave you here while we shoot in front of this lovely doorway. Enjoy. So we have just come out for brunch. That is part of the shooting day. We always come for food when, I guess we're nearly done. We usually have like 2, don't we? And then we come out for lunch. And we've come to a place called Baked in Hove, which if you have not been in Baked in Brighton, if you haven't been here, you need to come. Look at this food. It's like the best brunch food ever, and I went for the feta eggs, and then we've got the tropical colada. Cheers to that.
Ching ching.
And yeah, we're just having a little break. We've got Chloe's got 3, she's doing 7 today, and I've got 2 more outfits. One of them's for my dinner, so my like dinner evening outfit later. So yeah, probably do that on the way to dinner later. So it's quite casual. That's another thing with like outfits, we kind of take our time, and then if we're wearing an outfit on a day that we like, then we'll just shoot it on the day. Chloe's like, oh, what a good egg. But yeah, that's what we're up to, and I thought I'd update you because brunch is an important part of the shoot day. Get the energy, feel refueled. I always find if you do most of your outfits first, get them done, and then fuel up, that's the best way to do it, because otherwise I can sometimes feel we're a bit slower after we've eaten. Do you not find that? Like, I always feel like I'm a bit more relaxed, and I'm a bit more like I'm ready to chill out now after food. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna eat, but I'll see you in a minute. Hello lovelies, I hope you're all doing good. So continuing on from what you've just seen, I feel like I ended it quite abruptly. We were having our lunch on the shoot, and then it ended up chucking it down, so I stopped filming, and I thought the best way to kind of end this video and add like a little bit more detail would be to sit and chat with you guys. And what I've done is I've asked some questions on Instagram. We have quite a few different questions come through regarding shooting and like behind the scenes and any tips and tricks and that kind of thing. So I thought the best way to do it was to answer your questions and then like add in anything else that I feel like should be answered in this video as well at the end. So I'm gonna run through the questions, and yeah, let's do it. So first question, any tips for how to look happy in shoots but without needing a cheesy grin every time? I'd probably say with like poses and facial expressions and kind of mixing stuff up in front of the camera, that comes with time of like working out what you like with your photos and how you like to see yourself in front of the lens and the camera. I think for me, over the last like 1.5 years and 2 years, you kind of gauge what kind of facial expressions you like. And I'd say smiling wise, I mean, it's so hard because I always tend to go for like a really cheesy grin, or like I try and just kind of keep it quite natural looking by laughing with friends. So usually the person I'm shooting with, I feel really comfortable and like okay in front of the camera with, so they usually just make me laugh, and they're kind of the ones that where I'm smiling I actually am laughing or smiling with. So I probably say try and do like a fake laugh and then it turns into a real laugh, and kind of do that to make it look less kind of forced and cheesy. But I think with that you'll kind of get over time that you'll know what kind of facial expressions you like to do in front of the camera and what kind of work, and that just comes with angles and like coming back to the camera and being like, okay, I really didn't like what I did there, I'm just going to go and redo that pose because I like that pose. That's kind of the way to do it. Or shoot with someone that you feel comfortable enough with for them to be like, don't do that face or don't do that pose, if they know you well enough. I remember my sister, when we first started shooting together, she used to be like, no, you're gonna hate it, because she just knows what kind of photos I go for, so she'd be able to kind of give her honest opinion and be like, that angle doesn't work, so let's move it up, mix it up, and that kind of thing. So I guess that was a hard one, but I think just try and be as natural as you can. And I always say a fake laugh can always become a real laugh, so if you just do like the ha 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 kind of thing, you end up really laughing. So that should probably help with stuff looking a little bit more natural in front of the camera and that kind of thing. And then question 2, oh, this is from the same girl. Also, how to make your photos all look different and exciting and not plain and boring. I probably say locations do play a role in this, and like the outfits obviously play a role, or depending on what you're doing, you could be doing beauty, food, lifestyle, travel. It completely depends what you're doing photo wise. But for fashion kind of content, from like what I do and that perspective, I'd probably say locations do play a role in this, and the outfits as well. And I think continuing to move in your images and kind of getting that more movement in the outfit kind of helps. So as you would have seen in the clips that I shared and included, I do quite a lot of movement, and I kind of like flick my head back and forth and that kind of thing to try and get more movement and like natural looking images. So I feel like that can sometimes help with them not looking as boring. But also locations are key, and locations are always great. If you kind of are walking around and you see anywhere you like, just take a picture on your phone, even if you're like on your way to the gym or on your way to the supermarket and you find somewhere. I literally have a whole folder in my notes filled with places that I've just come across when I've been walking around and I've been going to meet friends or family, and I've gone, that would be a good place to shoot, and I've added it to my folder. So that's kind of what I do with locations and finding the best places to shoot for that. So I would say to kind of mix up the outfits and locations and make them look a bit more different and exciting, that helps. But also props help. So whether you have like a bouquet of flowers that you take out with you, or you have like a prop, so whether it's sunglasses or a cute bag, kind of like mixing up the outfits in that sense and kind of adding in things that you feel add like a pop of colour if the outfit's quite dark, or kind of, I guess it's kind of adding things in that work for you. I'm kind of going off the whole kind of conversation of it being fashion based, but you could be doing beauty or food and things like that. So I think just adding in props that you feel like maybe add that pop of colour, something that's a bit more unique to like your style and that kind of thing. Also, I'm very, very aware the sun is like really just come out and like is coming back into the camera, so excuse the lighting if I kind of look like the sun is making my head glow a bit. I thought that it was going to be a very grey, rainy afternoon, and it's clearly not, so yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next one is the lighting, where you place the lights for the best shot and also your poses. So I think this might be to do with my mirror like outfits that I do, which I'll leave a picture of here if you don't follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of like mirror, 10 ways to wear and that kind of thing, and the lighting that I use for that is actually one big ring light, which I will leave linked down below, from Amazon. I've had it for about 2 years and I got it for a Christmas present from my mum, which was nice. So I'm hoping that this is like the same link to that one, because that one is obviously 2 years old. So this is the one that I feel like is the exact same one, and I just use that. I turn on all the lights in my room, and then I also have a SAD light, which is like a SAD LED Lumi light they're called, which actually isn't to brighten up the space, but I use it for that because I think it just works just as like an extra light to kind of brighten the lower half of my room. I find with like winter shooting though, the best thing to do is to kind of place your lights around the room, because what I found with shooting in the past is that my ring light might be in front of my face where I'm shooting, and the background can be so badly lit that when it comes to editing, it just doesn't work. So I have like a chest of drawers just over here behind me, and when I'm shooting in my mirror photos like I've done here, I have a little light down on the floor, so that kind of like brightens up that backlight. And then I've also got glass here, and I basically turn on all the lights outside my room as well. So I basically just try and turn on all the lights in my bedroom and just outside to try and lighten up the space. But it comes down to editing for me. I'm gonna try and leave like a screen recording here of the Tezza app that I use to edit all my photos and all my videos, and kind of show you the before and after of like what my room looks like, even with all those lights before and then after adding more brightness and shadows to the image, and it just helps so much. So if you're struggling with like winter lighting in your room, then seriously recommend getting on the Tezza app and having like a mess around with shadows and lighting, because it's the thing that like sorts out my reels and my images massively, just doing that edit. So that's something I'd recommend for that, and then I'll leave the lights linked down below as well. But I always have 2 positioned in front, 1 back, and then all my normal lighting in the room turned on so that I can get like as much lighting as possible. How to pose in photos. So I kind of hope that the videos of me kind of moving helped in some way to kind of see what I do in terms of the poses that I do to kind of create more natural looking imagery. So I do the step, which just the step forward, step back. I find that if you do any kind of walking shots, then you kind of miss the photo and it becomes either a little bit blurred, or you don't get as nice kind of natural looking images as you would if you're just like stepping on the spot. So it's like a very back and forward kind of thing. And then also with kind of like the hair flick, I do that a lot to get kind of movement in my hair and more movement in the clothes, and I guess like just the way the images look when you're doing that, I feel like it kind of gives a bit more depth and a bit more fun to the photo. So I would say that that kind of helps with like posing and doing that kind of thing, and then kind of finding what works for you. So Pinterest is really, really great at kind of looking up different poses, or Instagram, and kind of having a browse, and if you see someone kind of sitting down somewhere and you're like, actually that could work in this location that I've seen, then kind of taking inspiration in that way is always really good if you're like struggling to kind of mix it up. I always find that having props can really help, whether you've got like your reusable coffee cup or you've got some flowers, that can also kind of help with kind of where you're going to be placed in a location. So sitting on a step and having your coffee cup in hand, or kind of standing on steps, or like obviously being respectful of doorways and things like that because they're people's properties, but also kind of working around that and kind of creating different poses with like different levels and movement. So I say don't be afraid to kind of move around, because I remember when I started kind of doing more outside photos, I was just like stuck in one place, and I know for a fact that movement has definitely helped with kind of the way my images turn out and creating more of like that natural kind of easy, I always say nonchalant, but that's not a thing. I feel just more like natural looking images that just look a bit more like fun and like on the go, which I think is always great. So don't be afraid to just move around loads, and I think eventually then you'll kind of find what kind of movements work for you. I always do like a side shot where I put my leg out a little bit so you can see the shoe, or I kind of move and flick my hair around. So there's always kind of shots like that. Like I personally love doing that, whereas I know that a few other people that I shoot and do work stuff with, they kind of kick out their leg, or they'll do like a back and forth. Like Chloe looks amazing when she does her walking shot. She does like the stride step, and that just looks insane. So don't be afraid to move. I feel like that really helps with kind of poses and mixing it up. But I promise over time you will find, if like you're new to kind of doing this, you will find kind of what works for you, and then it just comes really easily in front of the camera, and you'll feel a lot more better about the movement and having confidence, kind of knowing what poses you like as well. So hopefully that answers that one in some way. Who takes your photos on shoot days? That's another question. So it depends really. I shoot with a few of my friends that are also in the industry. So whether it's Chloe, Amelia, Kirsty, Bronte, Lauren, Jess, there's like lots of us that whoever's around really I'll kind of get to help me out, or whether I need like a campaign image shot, I might do a self-shooting timer. Throughout lockdown, I literally just had my tripod set up outside in the garden, and it would take me ages. But that's like one of the ways I used to do it. So self-shooting and just having it like connected to my phone, this camera, and kind of shooting in that way. But mostly with the girls also kind of do the same work as me, and we kind of go out and we do like bulk day shoots. So like today I've been out and done 7 outfits in around 4 or 5 hours, I want to say, with like brunch in between with Amelia, and we just kind of swap and take turns and get like 7 done each, or text each other the night before like, how many outfits are you doing? So we're usually on like the same wavelength. If like one of us are doing free, then I'll kind of go for free as well, so we kind of match up in that way as well. But how many different outfit pictures can you typically take from a day? So let's go off today. For example, I did 7 outfits. I want to say, let's have a look at my camera roll, because yeah, so I've taken 1,000 images today, and videos included, so a lot. But that's 7 outfits, and I want to say between 100 and 300 outfit shots per outfit that I take, because I just spam it. I do a lot of like shutter photos, and just to kind of get that movement within the image, I find that works best. So I'll then go through them and kind of scale that down to probably 20 that I then put into my Tezza app to edit. And if you want to see how I edit as well, that is over on my reels on Instagram, and you can literally see the exact edit I use and how I use it. And then in the bio of that reel, it kind of gives you a step-by-step outline, just in case you're interested as well. Do you change shoes, accessories, bags for every outfit? No, not always, but it depends really. It depends on the shoot day. Like yesterday I went to London, and I was travelling up there, and I hate taking big bags up to London with me, so I literally stayed in the same pair of leggings. I did 3 outfits. All I changed was my blazer and my top, and stayed in the same shoes, did the same hat, and I just got 3 outfits done. Because if I've got pieces like that, like I wear my pieces a lot in my wardrobe at the moment, it's a lot of like reusing pieces and wearing my fake leather leggings all the time. So it really depends. Like when I'm out with Amelia, like today, we pretty much swap and change like each other's bags and shoes. So like I borrow her bag and sunglasses all the time. Like all the time. She's like, people are gonna think it's your bag. But yeah, I borrow her stuff all the time. I borrow Jess's bag yesterday in London. Like it just depends. I think if some of like I see something that I know my friends who I'm meeting up with have pieces that I'd like to use, then I kind of do that. So it depends on the outfit or the day or what I'm doing, but everything that I shoot I pre-plan. So like say for example I was shooting tomorrow, I'd have like an evening tonight where I lay everything out and try and make it so it's as easy as possible to change in the street. Like under the skirt I was showing you, if I can go from like a skirt to a pair of jeans, that's ideal, because it's literally the quickest change and quickest shoe change ever. So it really depends on the outfit and kind of how I'm styling that look in particular. What camera do you use? Also, is it annoying when you have people stare? So camera wise, I just shoot on my iPhone at the moment with like all my outfit pictures. It's all done on here, which is the 11 Pro Max. But from on my Instagram, if you're looking on there, from my turkey photos down, that was all taken on my 8 Plus iPhone. So it depends kind of what pictures you're looking at, but they're all taken on my phone, and I just love this camera. I think it's amazing. It just does really like high quality images, and it's just really quick and easy because I edit on my phone, so there's no kind of faff with like getting the raw images on my computer and doing all of that kind of move around. I just find it really easy, especially with like how much I'm kind of creating at the moment. It's just very straightforward. And then camera, like filming wise, which is what you guys are on, is the Canon G7X camera, and I've had this for probably, I want to say, a year and a half now. I've kind of messed up the lens a bit because I hadn't got a case for it and it was just in my bag, and the lens now doesn't close, so I feel like it's slowly on its way out, and the focus is slightly annoying, but it does the trick. You can hear me, you can see me. It's really easy to kind of carry around in your bag. It's about like this big, and yeah, it's just a really great kind of vlogging camera. I also do shoot on here every now and then, but I haven't in a while. But yeah, it's just great for shutter photos. So if you're looking for like a basic easy camera for like vlogging and filming and also taking photos, then I do recommend looking into this. I would also recommend looking into the new Sony camera because I've heard incredible things about it. I've heard that the focus on that is insane, so it's something that I'm definitely going to be like looking into when I look to purchase my next camera, but I don't know the name of it, so I'm going to try and link it down below. But it's the new Sony vlogging camera, that's all I know name wise. But they're the two that I use. And then having people stare, so I think when I first started it was very overwhelming, and I tend like when I first started doing it, I used to just go out like literally outside my front door. I would not go anywhere else, or if I was to shoot, I would shoot like 7 AM, like as early as possible so that no one was around. But people are gonna stare, and I think people more than ever now either know what you're doing and are a little bit more aware of like this type of kind of outdoor fashion photos and that kind of thing, or they're just interested. And I mean, I get a lot of questions when I'm with some of the girls in Brighton just saying, do you want a photo together? Because I think that we look like we've travelled down to Brighton because we have our big suitcases. So I get that a lot. I also get like the odd car beeping, but I think people just, it's just one of those things. It's like seeing girls with massive suitcases taking photos in the street. It must just be interesting to have a little look, and you're never going to see them again. So it is annoying sometimes when there's like comments kind of flown around, but like I said at the start of this video, I kind of go into like tunnel vision mode where I'm like, I don't want to look or kind of see anyone, so I kind of black out people and just focus on the person that I'm with, who I feel comfortable with, and just try and black out everyone else walking past and staring, because people will stare but you're never going to see them again. So it's great unless unless they find you on Instagram and message you telling you they've seen you and send you a photo of you shooting, which is kind of weird, and that's happened to me a few times. So if you do see me in the street, don't take a photo, come and say hi. Because that's happened a lot recently and I find that a little bit bizarre. But yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? People are just interested at the end of the day. And yeah, I'm out in public, so I think it just happens. I think just, yeah, the rude comments are not needed, but they don't happen all the time, so it's okay. What apps / programs do you use to create, edit your pics and videos? So like I said, I use the Tezza app for all my reels and my photos. I literally just use the vintage filter. I like drag the filter down and then I just add a bit of shadows and highlights, and that is it. That is all I use at the moment. I was using Lightroom, and I love Lightroom. I like studied film and photography at uni, so I love the kind of Adobe software. I think they're amazing. But for me at the moment, it's just so much easier kind of doing it with with an edit, that I know that I love and use, and it kind of like creates a theme for my photos. So I think that's something that if you're kind of creating your Instagram and you're wanting stuff to match up, it's always great to kind of link in your edit in some way. And I think the Tezza app is just amazing at kind of having photos that really work nicely together. So that's something that I'd really recommend. In terms of like my little reels, like sped up videos, I use an app called InShot, which is basically like this little app here, and you can add in videos or photos and like put clips together, and it's just really easy. They also have like copyright free music on there, so if you're doing a video that's more than 1 minute, which sometimes I do for my stories when I'm doing like my makeup videos, I find that having the copyright free music is just ideal, because Instagram can take your take your videos down if you use their music too many times. So I've had lots of kind of stories taken down because of that. So the app is great because it just has all the copyright free music, and yeah, it's a fab easy phone editing app. And then for like my YouTube videos like this, I edit on the Adobe Premiere Pro, which is great. It took me a little bit learning to kind of get my head around it, but I studied it at uni, so that's why I use that one in particular, and I've had it since then. So it's just one of the ones I find quite easy. But I know a lot of girls that use iMovie and use Final Cut, so it's kind of finding what works for you. I find that iMovie now looks more complicated to me than Premiere Pro, but it could be the other way around. But they're all kind of apps and stuff I recommend, so I will leave links in like a little like edit folder down below of links to the app, so you can also access them there too. Next question. There's a few of like the same, so I'm just trying to like scale it down so I'm answering the main ones. But one of them said, best light outside for pics, i.e. bright sun in front or behind you, wait for sun to go in. So this is just one of those things, like the best day for shooting, like I said with Chloe at the start of this video, is always overcast. If you've got like a cloudy, not too windy day, it's like just nice and clear and the sun isn't kind of coming and going, that is amazing. Like the sun's going now. This would be like the worst time to do photos because the sun is literally going halfway through this video and it's gone really dark. But yeah, doing overcast is great. You can't really control the weather though. Like on days that I'm shooting, I have to shoot on that day. It's the day that I've got booked in, so no matter what the weather, we kind of play it by ear and kind of weave our way around streets. And I sometimes like to shoot in direct sun. Like today I shot pretty much all my outfits in direct sunlight with some sunglasses on. I really like how some of them turn out. And then last week I was doing all in the shade, so we kind of like walk around a certain location that we found and we want to shoot in, and then kind of go, right, the sun's on the left side of the street at the moment because it's midday, let's avoid those kind of streets where we know we like those houses, and then do the other side. So I mean, it depends. Obviously you can't control the weather, so like answering that, I would say overcast days are great for photos because your edit's usually quite like clean, but it depends on your edit and it depends on kind of your aesthetic and what you're doing with your imagery. Some photos in the sun are absolutely beautiful, they create really nice shadows, and there are photos that I did recently which I'm going to leave on the screen. I did a like green cardigan and I shot the first photo as like a test photo with the sun behind on the houses and buildings, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I like it, so I shot with the sun directly on me in the end. I actually prefer the sun backlit on the buildings behind because I found that with my edit this actually looked really nice, and it's something that I've never really tried because I just always thought it would add too many shadows to the image. So it's completely up to you. It's about messing around and experimenting, but it's always easy to make it work when you're outside and yeah, you're trying different things with the light. So I wouldn't be too worried if you look outside and you're like, I can't go out because it's too sunny to do photos. I think just find the streets that work for you, look at the street and be like, right, we can't shoot on that side, let's go to the shady side and do that instead. So it depends, and it also depends on the outfit. If you're doing fashion stuff, it depends like if you want your outfit in the sun or you want it in the shade too. I always just kind of do different test shots and kind of go from there. So next one, how to pick good locations to shoot. I guess kind of following on from what I said in terms of like when you're walking around anywhere and you like the look of somewhere, just take a photo of the street name, take a picture of it, and just kind of have that in like a little album or folder on your phone to kind of go back to. And I think after you've taken photos in your area a few times, you'll kind of be like, right, I really like shooting here, let's go here. Because the way that I do it with some of the girls is we'll text and be like, what kind of area do you want to do? Do you want to do like the centre of Brighton for more kind of busy shots? There's a lot of like brick houses, there is some kind of clean white buildings around the lanes, but it's more very busy imagery with like coloured houses and bricks and that kind of thing, and cute cafes. So that's always really nice. But at the moment with like the aesthetic I'm going for more like white big houses, a bit more of like the London kind of South Kensington clean streets. So going into Hove area is always like best for those kind of pictures here. So I tend to be like, can we do Hove area, and we walk around and find different streets, and I'm always finding new places. So it's just a kind of about finding those areas, and when you're just browsing, just take a photo of something if you love it and come back to it. And I mean, if you've got a car, that's ideal, because me and Amelia, I have street names that I write down and I'll be like, we're going to this street because I feel like there's some good stuff around there. So if you've got a car, it's great, but if you're walking around like me and Chloe do, we just kind of like trek it around for about half an hour until we find a street that we like. So completely depends what you're looking for, but I think over time in your area you'll definitely find places you love. And with London, if you're going into London to do shoot days and things like that, then definitely like have a look on the internet and just type in like best places to shoot, and you will get so many different lists of like different locations, whether you want like Sloane Square and you want quite clean with colourful houses, or you want South Kensington, which is literally all white like pillared houses and a bit of green with some parks there, or honestly there's like the longest list ever. So definitely recommend kind of like searching even in your area like top places to shoot. I'm sure loads will come up as well in your area too. Who takes your pictures? I just answered that. Some of the girls. What's the bet? Oh no, that's an outfit question. Sorry. And then what to look for in a location, like what makes you decide on taking a pic at a certain spot. I'm going to do this as my last question because I've spoke for like 25 minutes. I feel like it's going to make this video so long, but I guess it really again depends on your aesthetic. Like I like quite clean like photos at the moment and backdrops, and I like doing a little bit of green sometimes. It really depends on kind of the layout of your feed that you're looking for. If you're looking for a bit more like grungy area, then just go anywhere. There's so many amazing places to kind of find, whether it's kind of adding a bit more detail to your backdrop and going and shooting outside a vintage shop or a cafe and having a bit more depth to the back of your image, or you want big buildings, then kind of doing that. I think for me at the moment what I look for personally is like very clean, a little bit of green sometimes. I like kind of big high buildings because I really like shooting from a slightly lower angle to get more depth to the image and having a bit more of like something going on. So that's usually for me like what I go for when I'm looking for that kind of stuff. So yeah. I hope in some way, like me blabbering on at you, I said something helpful in terms of like shooting and finding kind of what works for you. But honestly, if I've missed any questions and you have any questions in particular that you're like, please can you answer this, then either send me a DM on Instagram. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, or just send me a message, comment down below, and I will answer, yeah, anything that I can. And if you want any tips and tricks that I haven't answered, then yeah, just let me know. I will happily send voice note after voice note with any ideas and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I chatted for so long at the end of this, but I hope in some way there was some like helpful little tips and information about kind of locations and shooting and lighting, and all links will be left down below as well to anything that I've spoken about. But yeah, I hope you guys are good, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for being here and watching this video. I feel like it's just gone really dark and it's like time for bed. This is like autumn winter hitting now, because the time is, it's 4 o'clock and look how dark it's getting. It's madness. Anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. I will see you in next week's video. I'm going to be doing, well, hopefully I'm going to be doing more of a vlog style video and then another haul, but we shall see. Let's see how the week goes. I hope you guys have a lovely one. Lots of love. Bye.